I actually wanted to ask, like, how come you joined just to give up at the end? Like, I know
Yeah.
there's more to it than just that, but what's
Oh yeah.
your backstory, on a
Mm.
deeper level? Like, what was your reason for that?
You want me to answer that now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you
So
wanna, yeah,
yeah. So going into the game, I had a goal of top 50, get an interview because I knew everybody didn't get interviews. Like there's 456 people. There's no way they're going to interview everybody. And then also sleep in the dorms. That were my three goals. And if I would have won the money, I would have spent it on my nonprofit, of course, moving my mom down to KC, and then setting my future family up because I grew up broke, right? So I grew up no money, living off of EBT, which is food stamps here in America, So I've done that a lot and like playing the whole game. I'm competitive. I came from a tennis background. I played sports in college. So this is like I love to win. I hate to lose. I do not like to lose at all.
mm,
So a lot of people ask me, why'd you do it? Why'd you get on the show if you want to do this? I didn't know I was going to do this. The moment I decided to do that, I was at that dinner scene. And because I'm a Christian, I pray a lot. So I pray like how can I guide my steps? Just like Daryl,
yeah,
and I saw that interview on here.
yeah,
He's a Christian. He was like, I
right,
don't know. I just felt moved to go pray for him. That's
yeah,
what it felt like in this dinner scene. I just felt moved. Like Jesus was literally telling me, this is the end of the road for you. Like this is it. You got as far as I need you to get, and I need you to do this. And
mm,
just like Daryl probably said, you have to be obedient to Jesus, where no matter how high the stakes are, right? There's $4.56 million on the line.
mm,
Is that a lot of money? Of course. Did I want that money? Of course. You know what I mean? And I released a YouTube video on my channel explaining every detail on why I did what I did. And basically, it wasn't easy doing that either, right? So in
mm,
my head, it felt like a boardroom, like me saying this. No, I want this. I need the 4.56 million. Jesus, are you serious? I didn't get this far. Like, come on. Like, what the heck? Like, I was mad. I was mad. But at the same time, he's like, are you going to trust me like you've been praying this entire game? Because in
mm,
the game, you see me say, win or lose, Jesus, I'll still trust you, right? Even if I win, I'll trust him how he's going to guide me to use the money. And if I lose, I trust him in the end on like still having something come out of all this, right?
mm,
So in that moment when I was in at the dinner scene, you see me sitting there, and what they do not show, and this is like behind the scenes stuff, what they do not show is the dinner scene was very long. It was very
okay,
longer than what that was, right? And behind the scenes, they over the intercom, they say, can everybody share their story and what they will spend the money on? It looks like I was just facilitating the conversation, and they never show my story,
okay,
right? They never show me talking at the dinner scene really or anything. I was the last one to share my story for why I was there, what was I playing for, and what I was going to spend the money on. They never show that, and they never show any of my mails talking about my personal story. So it felt like they just didn't really like they introduced my character, which is nice, love that and all that stuff, but they didn't really dive deep into who I am truly, and that is what y'all see is who I am truly, and that's
yeah,
not that's not like they didn't hide too much, but it was I feel like they could have told a little bit more of the dinner scene, what really happened in that, which was like it was bigger discussion. And then as I was doing it, they were all trying to convince me not to do it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, of course, yeah,
And that's when you see me turn around and say, guys, I'm doing this because it's not that I did not like eliminating people. I knew that was the point of the game, right? Everybody knows that going into Squid Games.
mm,
It's not that I did not like eliminating people, but the people I did it for was Vanessa and Deja. That's also what they don't show.
okay.
I said, when I got to Vanessa,
Is that who you were aiming for to win as well? Is that
yeah,
what? Okay.
I was really aiming for Vanessa or Deja to win.
Yeah, why did I feel like that? Because I was like, I reckon he aimed for Vanessa's story. I don't know why, but I feel like I had that feeling because I feel like her
Yeah.
story was quite emotional as well. To be honest.
Yeah, and you can see Vanessa's crying the most. It's because me and another thing they don't show my relationships throughout the entire game. You
Okay.
saw, so like Kelly, player 216, when she got out of Mingo, that was so dramatic because me and her were day ones. We met in the hotel because we got in a. I bet you heard from other players. We were in a hotel for 3 days.
Okay, I
Me
didn't
and
hear that
Kelly,
actually.
yeah,
So
me and
yeah.
Kelly met there. And then when we walked in the dorms, we were like looking at everybody, and for some reason we just reconnected again in our little group back in the corner. I was trying to figure out our alliances. So me and Kelly was really close, and then me and Mackenzie, player 451, after Kelly got out, we got really close. And again, they don't show our relationship. And after Mackenzie got out, I was like, I don't have anyone here. And then for some reason, me and Vanessa just started talking about religion, and we got really close.
Okay. Okay, that
So
makes
that's why
sense.
Vanessa, yeah, that's why Vanessa was so emotional at the end because she's like, Trinity. They don't show this either. They said, what she said, what would your mom think? Right.
Mm,
And I was like, my mom would be fine. She knows my heart. She knows my character. She probably knows that this is going to happen at some point. Like she knew I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to play the game all the way through. But like, yeah, like I said in that moment, it just so much happened at that dinner scene. Such an intense moment in my head. It probably doesn't look like it on camera. A lot of fans have told me there's like, oh yeah, no, we see how intense it was.
Yeah.
We see that you didn't want to do it, but like you're a Christian, so I get why you follow Jesus to do that and trusted him in the end. And I got a lot of fans saying like he's going to use you for a greater purpose, and if he does, that's great. If he doesn't, so be it, right? I have to live with my decision, and I don't regret it at all. So
Well, it gives you a major platform to preach on, doesn't it? And
yeah,
spread the love that you want to spread online. Like that's the
right,
following I feel like you're after that you want to do to help people with. I feel like I get that coming from you.
yeah,
So yeah, that's pretty crazy. You can still get that. Like so there was quite a lot of conversation before it got all tense. Then, like
yeah.
when it got to that point, was there a point at the dinner table when you did want to win still? Before it got
So
to that.
yeah, so behind the scenes, look at it. So we go in, you see us walking into the dinner scene. You see me run up. The crazy thing is, I ran up. I wanted to, yeah, I ran up to Deja's spot because that was the only chair. We're like, oh, this chair by itself, that's important. We thought it was an important chair, right?
Mm,
The one Deja was sitting in. And then I ran over to sit beside Vanessa again because Vanessa was like my closest friend in that moment.
mm,
But Pearl was like, no, I want to sit here. So I was like, okay. And nobody wanted to sit beside Steven. So I was like, okay, I'll sit beside Steven. Not knowing, what was going to happen. So we're eating dinner, everybody's laughing, everybody's joking around, everybody's like telling their stories or whatever, not thinking that this is Squid Games, right?
yeah, yeah.
Anything that's good, bad is gonna follow right after, right? So eventually, while we're eating, of course, the voice comes over the intercom and it says, players, the next game is this. They explain the rules, and in that moment, that's where it switched for me. I was like, oh. And I saw Vanessa, and then they cut the cameras to put our scripts on. Like
Wow.
we didn't have our scripts on that entire time. They cut the cameras. The dresser, hairdresser, or people came on and helped us take our things off and put the scripts on. And I'm just looking around. Everybody got dead silence. Like it's game time, basically.
Mm,
And me too. I was like, okay, it's game time. Let's go. This game seems easy. But then I see Vanessa over there, my number one ally at the moment, go like, oh, can I get some water? Like she starts freaking out. Can I get some water? Can I get some water? Like this is not fair. How's this? Da, da, da. Now I remember her story. Oh, she's planning to get a boat one day so she can start her own boat business.
mm.
Now I see Deja sitting over there. She's just quiet. You know, Deja. She's probably like scheming in her head how
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
gonna get past this.
yeah.
And I see Deja over there. I'm like, dang, she's a single mom. I grew up with a single mom with three sisters. So I'm just like, and that's when the conversation in my head started to go between me and like Jesus and all this stuff. Where it's like,
Mm,
Jesus, I don't want to give this up. Like I was literally saying, I do not want to give this up. I'm so close to 4.56 million. Like there's no way. Like you're telling me this is it. Like there's no way. And it was a whole discussion in my head for like 30 minutes. But
wow. Wow.
mm,
That's insane. I mean, it's possible as well. Like, there's reasons behind everything, isn't it? Like,
right,
it's also the factor of like winning the money after. How are you gonna
right.
control yourself with it? Like, how are you gonna feel about it? Are you gonna handle the press and public
Yeah,
feedback and everyone wanting it from you, like the money? Yeah, it's all the after experience as well.
right. And I see Pro doing all the interviews and Power Tour. I'm glad she got the interviews. I'm glad she got the money. Whatever she does with it is in her hands. And yeah, and then sometimes it can be hard looking at them like, dang, I start to get in my head. I'm like, no, I did not regret it. But at the same time, I'm like, dang, if I wanted money, what would I do for it? But at the same time, you hear people say all the time, instant money is not the best money,
Mm,
right? Even though, yeah, now she's an instant millionaire, but now she got to control that and also spend it the right way. So in my head, I'm like, maybe it's good I didn't win because instant money for me is not the best way.
mm,
I rather like make business deals after this, see what I can do to grow my financial gain,
mm.
slow term, so I can learn more over the span of like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, and like you say, it's an easier way of controlling it
Right,
as well
right.
with the
Mhm.
income. It's pretty crazy. But going back before the show as well, did you like pray for guidance for the thought of
Yeah,
wanting to go into the show as well? Like, were you quite
yeah.
because of being religious as well? Were you worried about opinions going in before? And yeah,
No, I mean, I knew going in, so that's a good question. So a month before the game, so I got the final yes November 15th. I knew I was going to be on the show, or at least get to the hotel basically, because
mm,
you can get, if you do something wrong, they can send you home, literally. So like I knew I was going to be on the show November 15th. So at that moment, I was like, okay, I'm glad I'm going to be on the show. Like this is cool, whatever. And then when January came, because we flew out January 24th, that's when I started mentally preparing for whatever.
mm,
That's when I started praying a little bit more. I'm like, okay, God, whatever way you want to use me on the show, you do that.
Mm,
So like right when I said that, I knew I signed up for something crazy. Probably like I knew Jesus was going to use me in something in a crazy way. I didn't know how.
mm,
I was like, maybe I will win this whole thing,
mm.
right? But I knew the moment I prayed that, and I kept praying that over the month, over the days before the show. I was like, God, just use me whatever way you want to use me.
Yeah, yeah,
And He did, you know. And I thought I was going to be winning the 4.56 million. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But at the same time, like when you pray that prayer, expect anything.
Mm, mm. Going back to the Vanessa part, as I was talking about
Yeah.
her, was it always Vanessa that you wanted to win from the beginning, or was there other contestants before they died that you were hoping for?
No, there was contestants I wanted to get far, not
Mm.
necessarily win because, like I said, I'm in it to win the whole thing,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
of course, yeah, yeah,
So like there was like Kelly, I wanted her to get a little bit further. Um, some of the O's, the one that got out in the O's in the beginning, I was like, that sucks because I just met them, you know what I mean? But then the games got on, yeah, it became very Mike McKenzie. I wanted her to kind of go far, but then she got out and shoot some ladders. And after that, it was up to Vanessa or Deja. I really wanted Deja or Vanessa to win. That was my
yeah,
like not me, them, you know.
yeah,
But
yeah. I find it very interesting how you haven't mentioned much about Perla. Actually, I find it very interesting. Do you have a view on her winning? Like, is yeah,
well, well, Perla. So me and Perla, you see our conversation in the game. Not again, they don't show all of it, but that was like a snippet of it. And so we talked here and there throughout the game, but we weren't really that close
okay,
in the game, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So like we never really had. I mean, we had one-on-one conversations like you saw on the show, but like not a lot like I had one-on-one with Vanessa or had one-on-one with Deja. Even actually, even me and Deja really didn't have that many one-on-one conversations. They
wow,
were always like in a group. But after but I connected with her. We talked about our family and upbringing. We kind of had the same. And also, she's a single mom. And when I say single mom, her kid's dad is still in his life. I want to say that because she told me she's like Trinity, he's still in the life. We're just not together, which makes sense, right? But I resonated with that because I grew up with a single mom. So in that moment, that's what I did it for. And me and Deja got closer after the games got out. So we talk like almost every day. I was just on the phone with her today.
yeah.
So,
Oh wow, okay, that's
but
good that
yeah,
you found contact.
Me and Perla talk here and there. We haven't like even after the games. I didn't really talk to her up until the event in LA.
Mm,
Like we never really had a conversation with her until the event in LA, and we talked, somewhat there because we're all together for a week. And then
mm,
so there was an after party after showing on the rooftop of the hotel. It was just like a gathering, not really an after party. It was
mm.
like pizza. We were showing the show on the big screen. But yeah, we talked here and there. Her family's really nice, like her mom
Okay.
and dad. They came up to me and was so thankful. They said, "Thank you for what you did. Like you're awesome." And her mom was like, "But Trinity, never do that again. Next
Mm,
time it's your turn." I was like, "Yeah, but this time it's Perla." She said, "I know, I know." And
yeah.
we're thankful, but next time, don't ever, ever, ever do that again. Play the game all the way through. I was like, "Yes, ma'am."
Yeah,
Even her
yeah.
brother Jeffrey's really nice. Jeffrey came up to me
Oh well.
and was like, "Thank you so much. Like that was crazy what you did. I don't think I could ever do that, but I think I
Mm.
was like, yep." So
I've got to ask, has she given you any money? Has she donated to
she,
you? You don't have
I
to
have
answer,
seen
but
the
yeah,
comments. Huh? What you say?
you don't have to answer, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I was
Well,
gonna.
we've talked, so I've seen the comments of like, oh, you owe Trinity this. She doesn't really owe me anything,
No,
you know.
yeah,
So, but we've talked, and I do have a nonprofit or whatever. So we've talked very briefly that we might do an event next year to help raise money. I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to see the winner and a final five in the same
yeah,
area,
that's
right? So that event in itself is going to bring a lot of people for
yeah,
to help raise money from a nonprofit. So
yeah, yeah, because you can help each other via communities, can't you? And
right, yeah,
sponsorship.
but I bet she has stuff to take care of her on her own side with that money.
Mm,
So
yeah,
power to
yeah,
her. Mm.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure half of it's probably already gone already. It can go pretty quick. uh,
Yeah, I'm about to say 4.56 million is a lot, but you got to think about taxes and all the other stuff that goes into it. So
yeah, yeah, no, of course.